Good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning, everybody. It's John Kirk with Travel Pulse this morning here at the beautiful rooftop of the One Hotel in downtown Toronto. And I'm with Dr. Ernest Hilaire, who's the Minister of Tourism from St. Lucia. Welcome to Toronto, first of all.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to you too. Certainly a beautiful day. Reminds me of St. Lucia, actually.
Yeah, especially because of the deep blue sea behind us in the background. But definitely better than yesterday, because yesterday we had some rain, I'll tell you.
Yeah, of course, again, that too reminded me of St. Lucia, because when it rains, it rains. We call it liquid sunshine.
Yeah.
So even while it rains, you're still supposed to enjoy the island.
Well, I can tell you this would not remind you of St. Lucia in January.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. No, no.
So you have got quite the background and quite the history, which has led up to your current role, spending time in France as an ambassador. But so much emphasis was spent on youth development and participation in youth and advocating for the people of St. Lucia. Just tell us a bit about your role and what you think tourism means to the youth in St. Lucia, as well as just the infrastructure and delivering those tourism dollars to society and to the economic infrastructure.
Yeah, well, I grew up as a student leader, youth leader, as a community activist. I love doing community work involved in sports. So the development of young people, the development of the country means a lot to me. And this is where tourism comes in, because tourism right now is the engine of growth in St. Lucia and throughout the Caribbean. It's really what drives our economy, creating employment, providing revenue for much needed development works and social programs as well. So our success in tourism is critical. And therefore, we put a lot of emphasis on tourism and what it means to our people. And for me, that gives me tremendous pride to be the person who was chosen to oversee this very important sector. But also important for us is a tourism industry that is structured, where it allows the best of our country to be put on display. Our people, as well as our communities, and how we live our lives. Yeah. So for us, tourism is more than just an activity. It is a serious engagement that really propels the national development of St. Lucia.
And what's the economic contribution, without a long political answer, because I know I don't blame you for that, because it deserves a long answer. No. But what's the economic contribution from tourism into St. Lucia?
About 40% of our GDP is directly related to tourism, and indirectly about 60%.
Incredible.
Quite significant.
And is there any initiatives or training programs that are there to bring youth into the tourism hospitality and get them trained up to the global standards?
Yeah, well, there are a number of programs in St. Lucia, both through the community college, the Southwest Community College, as well as Monroe College in St. Lucia, and other private sector trainers that provide training for various hotels. Some of the hotels themselves have their own training programs. Sandals, for example, has Sandals University, and there are other hotels that have their own customized training programs. So there's a lot, but we still need to do even more.
Yeah, I mean, it gets lost on, I think, sometimes on the average traveler when they're visiting these destinations, how important tourism is to the economic infrastructure and to the people of the destination that they're visiting. So I appreciate that. That's great insight, I think, for all of our viewers. Yeah. Now, St. Lucia is a wonderful destination, and you're up in Toronto on a mission. Tell us a bit about what the summer is like in St. Lucia and what the attraction is to consumers down to St. Lucia in the summer.
Well, I mean, we are saying to Canadians, come to St. Lucia, enjoy summer, St. Lucia style. For us, it's a heavy emphasis on the festivals that we have in St. Lucia. Started off in May with our Jazz and Arts Festival. We're now into the carnival season with all the community carnivals up front, and then having
that's a lot of partying.
Yeah, that's a lot. I've started yesterday with Grosley having the community carnival, and every weekend we go into July for the national events, the parties, and the big street parade on the 17th and 18th of July. And once that's concluded, we then go into Emancipation Month, when we celebrate, the emancipation of the slaves more than almost 200 years ago. And again, all the communities will be organizing activities to celebrate it. And then, as soon as that ends, we go into October to celebrate Creole Heritage Month, when we celebrate our Creoleness, our Creole history and heritage. And for us, that's really important. So you have all those festivals taking place in St. Lucia during the summer. We live life because life is for enjoyment. You have to enjoy life. Yep. And that's how we celebrate the festivals. The communities come out, the people come out. And then you add to that all the spectacular physical beauty of St. Lucia, the pitons, the sulfur springs, the waterfalls, the hiking, the bird watching, the diving, the bamboo rafting on the river. There's so much that you can do in terms of the attractions. But for me, what is really defining about St. Lucia is the people, the warmth, the hospitality, and we invite Canadians, come to St. Lucia. We really want to treat you, to host you, and to show you how we live our lives.
And I had the great pleasure one evening, I think it was on the Friday night, I went down to the Fish Fry night. Down the mark, I had so much fun. It was such a blast, and I felt incredibly comfortable. The people were so welcoming. The food was phenomenal. I really had a great time. So, travel advisors and travel counselors in Canada have always been huge supporters of St. Lucia. Just how important are travel advisors and travel professionals to St. Lucia?
No, they're critical. And yesterday I had the opportunity last night to say thank you to the travel advisors for the support they've been given, the selling of St. Lucia. We've seen the numbers really rebound this year. I can say to you, for the first quarter of this year, we have had an increase of 150% over last year first quarter. Yeah. We up almost 70%, on where we were in 2019 for the first quarter. The month of April, we're 95% where we were in 2019. Wow. So it means that Canada, almost a full recovery when it comes to Canada. The numbers have been phenomenal. And through this summer campaign and going into the winter, we expect Canada to be back where it was before. Yeah.
And do you think that it's phenomenal just to get back to recovery of 2019, but it's not as if it's a drive market. So you're really limited to the air capacity and your airlift to bring people into your recovery growth, right? Yeah. So how would you say what does the airlift look like coming into the summer period?
Well, that has been very encouraging. We started off with one flight a week from Air Canada, from WestJet. Air Canada has made a very powerful statement in terms of their confidence in St. Lucia. We're now up to 3 flights a week. We have Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday. WestJet is 1 flight a week every Sunday. And come the winter, Air Canada is going to be daily to St. Lucia. Oh, wow. We're excited about it. We're really looking forward to working with all the travel advisors to sell St. Lucia and to make sure at the foremost of the minds of all Canadians is to come to St. Lucia. And
what about hotel growth? Any new hotel rooms that are being added into the market?
Well, we're seeing now a number of hotels being built. Only last year we opened Soco House. There was a wellness not resort, but a kind of boutique hotel that recently opened. We're seeing the completion of the Casabah Beach Hotel, the Zoe Tree hotel has opened in St. Lucia, the first of its kind. We have a Secrets being renovated now. It was a Wyndham property, bought over, converted to Secrets. We have the Dreams Hotel being built in Canals. We have a Marriott being built in Castries. There's a lot happening.
No shortage of hotel rooms.
No shortage. And in addition to that, we have the Collection des Pépites, which is a collection of what we call gems, villa properties that we've pre-selected, high quality service and offerings that we see to individuals. If you don't want to go to a resort, you don't want to be among hundreds of people, you want a more private setting, choose one from the Collection des Pépites.
That's fantastic. Okay, I'll let you go because I know you got a busy morning. Really appreciate you spending the time with us today. And anything you want to say to travel advisors out there, now's your chance.
Well, I really want to say thank you for all the support you've given in selling St. Lucia, and to say to you, continue to sell St. Lucia. We're looking forward to welcoming all, Canadians. We love the work that you do. We appreciate it, and we really want to show our gratitude. Come to St. Lucia. It's the place to be. Summer, St. Lucia style.
Thank you very much. You can't sum it up much better than that. Thanks very much for spending some time with us this morning, and good luck today, and we hope to see you down in St. Lucia sometimes. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.